Welcome back on Media Dialogues. We're discussing the streaming industry, which continued to grow in 2022. And to do that, I'm talking to Gaurav Banerjee, content head for Disney Plus Hotstar, Monika Shergill, Vice President Content for Netflix, and Gaurav Gandhi, Vice President of Amazon Prime Video. Streaming introduced the concept of binging to us. But I now see weekly episodic drops that are happening. Now, what is happening here? Is it going to change? Is it going to be a little bit more like TV? And of course, we have live TV streaming via sports. So is streaming going to be is it going to become a little bit more like TV as we go along? That's my question, Monika.
Across services, everyone's trying different models. But speaking for Netflix, I think what we have observed and what we really believe in, and we introduced the binge format, and we continue to believe that bingeable television is actually the way of the future. Yes, there are shows which we drop what we call non-all at once, which come in weekly format. We have a lot of shows which come from television to us on our service. They come in a weekly format. We split sometimes when we do competitive reality shows. We drop the finales later. One of the big things that COVID we experimented with was batch viewing.
Right.
Even then, it was a binge format. Like Money Heist came in 2 batches. Stranger Things came in 2 batches. But
so
I think
that was because of production disruptions, perhaps.
Production disruption. It was also interesting as an experiment at that time. And we saw that the fandom increased with that. However, we continue to believe that binge is a way to really create cultural moments, to really allow, the storytelling to become bigger, the franchises to become bigger. Wednesday is a testament. It's been #1 in 83 countries in 2 weeks. Anuradha, it's a vertical curve. That's how, the binge format, and when you have a creatively excellent series, that's what it does.
Gaurav?
From my point of view, the way we see it is that it'll depend show to show. And because in many ways, if you look at seasons, right, you have all of this and the season comes in a year later. There are conversations happening all through there as well.
Right.
How do you keep momentum going of that between season 1 and season 2, and how fandom of characters grows? So, and you have to do something to engage people in the middle as well. So I think we have a bunch of experiments going on there. That's part one. The second interesting thing which is happening, which I think is, and both of them talked about season 2s, is what we are seeing that, usually people see season 2s being a natural, fallout from who watched 1. But we are actually seeing people consuming the show even more, and more new customers joining in season 2 level and season 3 levels, who actually then go back and watch the previous seasons as well. So actually the overall consumption pie is growing, because we're still very early days of original content creation in India in this space, right? So we've had fantastic, season 2s and season 3s this year with Panchayat and FOMO Shots and Breathe and so on. We've seen a whole new range of customers come into the franchise itself, which is, otherwise people would not think they think counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But that's changing a lot.
That's interesting. Gaurav, so much data, so much viewing data, consumption patterns. I mean, everything is just right there for you to consume, right? Which TV doesn't give you that easily. You're still waiting on ratings to guide you and decide investments on content. How are you using all of this data to make those big content decisions?
I think the way we think about it is we would like to be creative first, right? So what is most important...
But can you be creative when there's such overwhelming, compelling data of how many people watched what, where did people drop off? I mean,
that's our job.
How do you balance that?
Otherwise, you do not need human beings who are thinking about it all the time,
It is creative first.
So I think for us, for sure, it's creative first, right? So when you look at a creative person's work, right, do you want to feel like working with them, right? And when you read a script, when you watch something that they have shot, does that excite you? I think that's the first question that everybody in Disney on the creative side is asking, right? Does this sound innovative? Does this have a voice that has not been articulated earlier? Because there's a problem with data. Data can only tell us what's happened in the past. It cannot tell us what customers, consumers want to watch tomorrow, right? And data has a second problem. it will be telling us that we're being guided by the past, and it would be making those voices more important who have already had their big peaks and successes, rather than helping find the next new thing. And that's what our jobs
To find the next new
is.
thing.
Absolutely, right? So I think in a world which is like, you know, really flooded with a lot of data, sometimes the smartest thing to do is to kind of tune that out a little bit. You had made a great point on how these episode drops are working. And we mentioned two things, right? That there could be binge watching and there could be weeklies. On Disney Plus Hotstar, there are dailies, right? So I think a massive amount of viewership on our platform is not just for the TV content that we have created, which goes on Disney Plus Hotstar first, but now we are beginning to create shows that happen daily, right? We tried our first daily this year, one in Tamil and one in Hindi. And both are experiments that have worked very well for us. We want to do more of that, right? So I think this whole idea that this is a show that I really like and something fresh and new would be available to me every day is incredibly powerful, and that should work for us.
Let's pause for a bit. We've got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about how the content strategy works for streaming services. So stay with us.